Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this episode, we'll create more maps for the game, so let's dive into it. Before we start making new maps, I just want to quickly show you some new tiles. Our previous maps looked a bit empty, so we decided to add some new props. Luckily for us, our tile sheet had 3 empty slots that we're going to fill in, and also to make them solid objects to add a little bit more fun. In the video, you can see I've added the green background and copied the floating island tile colors, and then just draw a random shape really and work from there. I had a flat surface on top since the tiles are at an angle and you'll be able to go behind the rocks, which will be shown later. If you think rocks sticking out on a golf course is a sloppy idea, that might be true, but try explaining that to Rusty. He'll probably tell you you've never played golf in space before. Now that that's settled, we can update our sprite sheet in Godot. We select each tile in the tileset menu, and in the physics menu I add a custom collision shape. I do this for all the rocks. Notice how I only draw the collision shape on the bottom half. This is because we want it to be like the windmill, where the ball can go behind it, making it more realistic. With that done, we head back to our beloved test map and add each rock to the field. Now let's test it out. We can see that the ball is bouncing off the rocks, but it's appearing in front of them. To fix this, we go back to our tile set and under rendering, we give each rock a Z index of 2. The same index we gave the windmill. Now it's going to be fine, right? Wrong. Well, not completely. It's going behind the tile, but remember, the green bit is also part of the tile. Let's go back to Sprite and fix this. Since it's just one color, we select all the grass with one click and press delete. If we go back to Godot, we instantly have an updated look. We don't want to have some rocks floating like this, so let's fill them up with a green patch of grass. The final step now is to create a new layer in the tile map that we'll call rocks. Now we can lay them down on the map as before and it should work. Final test. Nice, now the ball finally goes behind the rocks. For now, I'm happy with how the collision shapes are working. While I'm here, I might as well sink it in the hole.
Name is John C.
Okay, let's make new maps. In one of our previous episodes, we made 6 basic tutorial maps. Each of those maps introduced the player to a new game mechanic. In this episode, we're going to make 6 intermediate level maps. Map 7 isn't much larger than the previous tutorial maps, but you can see it slowly builds up in complexity, forcing the player to be more careful with the force they hit the ball with. And just to add a little more spice to it, this will also probably be the last map that you need a hole-in-one to get a 3-star score. Map 8 will be the first map where you can take more than one shot for a perfect score. Since Rusty always pops up at the beginning, we might add some text there letting the player know. A fun fact is that this map was the inspiration for adding more tiles. If you look at the map without the rocks, it looks pretty empty. Anyway, get your ball close to the rocks under the pond, and the second strike should bounce off the wall and sink in the hole. Map 9 seems simple, but there's something interesting about it. Do you see those 2 blocks? Remember those? The moving blocks first shown on map 3? There, the blocks simply move from wall to wall. It's almost the same here, only there are 2 of them and they act like a wall, not allowing you to go straight for the hole. What's more interesting, when you start the map, you should zoom out if you want to see the wall's position. Remember how I said map 7 will be the last map where you need a hole-in-one to get a perfect score?
I lied.
Map 10 is a bit difficult. It sounds weird since by looking at it you'd think it's also a one-shot map. Although it is possible, we're still going to give the players more moves for this one. Your best bet is to get the ball close to the top wall in the gap in the middle. From there, you should have a clear path to the hole. This map. Map 11 is bringing back the windmill. In the previous maps, you had some practice in positioning your ball for your next move. This and the next map will see how well you have developed your skills. But just to be nice, we left a sand pit on the bottom in case you hit too hard the first time. Just remember, moving off the sand tiles also affects your speed, so don't be afraid to give a harder swing. I might need to change that rock. Map 12 is the final of the intermediate maps. It's safe to say it's a good introduction to the harder maps, which you'll see in a future episode. Right off the bat, you can see you need at least 3 shots to win. The goal is to land your ball to the right wall first, right here. And then to the top wall right here. And then go for the hole. Even if you're not pixel perfect next to it, it's fine, as long as you have a possibility to get to the next position. That's it for this episode. Consider subscribing to our channel and following us on our social media. In the next episode, we'll implement the scoring system and create the scoreboard at the end of the level. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Have a good one.